which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got our students, our schools. Move on.
It's
At the school,
All right.
for students.
our schools.
Students.
Let's go ahead. Alana, you can have a seat. So we have Ms. Natovitz here, social studies. We did have a number of students lined up, but midterms and some other stuff kind of appears to have gotten in the way with that. But she's going to talk about a project that she did in class, which we thought was pretty exciting. So I wanted to share with you all.
Thank
Zero.
So I am Ms. Natovitz and I do have the privilege to teach Holocaust and Genocide. It's one of the classes I teach. This is now my second year teaching it at Raymond High School. I do have previous experience at a different school in a different state. So this is my 8th year teaching. So with that, this is a lesson that I created because I noticed last year when I taught Holocaust and Genocide that there seemed to be a little bit of a lack of foundation when it comes to the Holocaust specifically. And as we know, you can't really teach or talk about other genocides without going into detail about the Holocaust, because that tends to be the one that students know the most of or about. So I created this lesson to have more foundation of the Holocaust. And as we know, in order for students to have a buy-in into what they're learning, they have to understand why. Why am I teaching this? What's the purpose? So with that, I came up with 3 questions that this project would, by the end of the project, be able to be answered, which were, why were Jewish people targeted and what other groups of people were victims? The second question, was the Holocaust a surprise or a planned genocide or event? And then my third question, how did Hitler get away with it for so long? So that was the basis of how I went into developing this project. And I thought the best way to get the students to get the answers to this question in a less direct way was through doing a timeline. So I created a walking timeline for this project. This timeline spanned the years 1933 to 1945. So this was a multiple week lesson. The first day when my students came into my classroom, all they saw were these blank pieces of paper with the years 1933 to 1945 listed on top. And that was all they saw when they first came in. And I just asked a general question, do any of these years mean anything to you? Some of my students did understand World War II. They said some events, whereas others were more quiet. This was also the first big lesson that I did with my students, the first 2 weeks into school starting. So I also wanted to gauge their involvement. Were they going to speak up or not? So with this lesson, I had a lot of help from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum for sources. And when I went onto the website, they had split up individual profile cards of people and victims of the Holocaust. They also had laws and decrees that went into effect during the Holocaust and then historical events. So the first thing I had my students do were the red cards that you see on the timeline. The red cards were a symbol of individuals that were affected by the Holocaust. So I gave my students from the United States Holocaust Museum these pieces of paper, and each of them had to do with a specific individual that either died or was affected or a victim of the Holocaust. And I had the students read about an individual. And once they read about the individual, I had them write down on the blank note card the Nazi justification for why they were in or part of the Holocaust. The second thing was the year that they faced persecution, and that number was the year that they would put their person on the timeline. The third thing I had them include was the age of the person when they were a victim. And then I colored the other side of the card red, and I had them put the picture that came from the profile card as well as their name and then where they were born and what year. And then I had them go to my desk. I made sure they had all the correct information. I said, great job, or you might want to include this. And then I had them put sticky tack on the back of their card and then put it on the year that correlated with that person. After they were done with that initial part, they then went to other profiles from other people and other students until they had written down 5 different people or individuals that had been affected. After that first part, I had them do some reflection questions. So again, at this point, all there were on the timeline were the red cards with just the victims, their faces, and then the information. The reflection questions I had them answer were, do you notice anything about the age and the gender of the victims? I then asked them, when you're looking at the years, do you notice anything of when people were targeted? So do you notice it's towards the beginning of the timeline, towards the end? And then I started asking more guiding questions. Why do you think there are only a couple victims in the beginning? And why do you notice that there are so many more victims towards the end of this timeline? And I just had them reflect on those by writing their answers down. And then we moved on to part 2 and 3. Part 2 and 3 are when I moved into the laws and historical events. So the laws, I had them look at the paper. Each of them had a different law that they read about. And as you can see from the timeline, the yellow has to do with the laws. So I gave them another note card, color it yellow, put the title of the law, the picture that correlates with that law, and then the date that the law went into effect. And then on the back of the note card, an explanation of that law. I then had them do that too with historical events that were happening around the world. Some of the events did have to do with Nazism and Europe. Others had to do with events around the world, the United States, Japan, other things that were happening during this time period. And then once I got their note cards back with their information, gave them sticky tack, put it onto the year that it correlated with, and then they had to go around and grab from the other students, write down information about different laws, different historical events. And then at this point, the timeline was fully completed in the sense of all the different cards were on the different years. So essentially 1933 to 1945, all you saw were what you see in front of you here. So essentially that part of the lesson was done, but then I wanted them to do a full reflection. And as a class, we discussed what they saw with these full timelines. So I asked them leading questions with, what patterns did you notice? Did you notice anything about the specific timing? Did the laws go into effect first? Did you notice how there were red cards around the times that laws went into effect? Did you notice how there were blue cards when it came to the world? Why do you think you had blue cards and what was happening in the world at the same time as red cards? Do you think the world was distracted? Do you think it allowed Hitler to start creating more camps and be able to kill people without having outside noise? And then the last thing I did was a full class discussion, and I asked the questions that were the questions of why I started this lesson to begin with. Why were Jewish people targeted? What other groups were victims? Now, after this lesson, do you think the Holocaust was a surprise, or do you think it was a planned and carefully deliberate attempt of a genocide? And then how did Hitler get away with it? Did you notice the red cards towards the end? Why do you think there were so many red cards? So a lot of it were leading questions, but by doing this, I hoped that they would get a more insightful explanation without me just telling them, this is what happened this year, this is why this is important. And then my final reflection for me, because this was my first time doing this specific lesson, I did ask my students, did they like the project? Do you think you gained anything from this project? Did doing this project help you understand more about the Holocaust than you did before? And then how did looking at this timeline make you feel? Because I wanted them to get the full scale of seeing people's faces. These aren't just pieces of paper. These are actual victims.
Any questions? Joe?
Very good. It's a good topic to go over, especially with students, because I mean, lo and behold, it's now 80 years past, well, you know, how time flies. And even some of his, like the speeches and stuff like that, that Hitler made, you can kind of see that he's planning this out. And if you even go back a little bit further, he actually takes the Armenian genocide and learns lessons from that to use against the Jewish people. So, and you know, and again, it wasn't just Jewish people. I mean, he massacred many other individuals that were trying to help the Jewish people out as well. So it's an interesting topic, and I'm glad the kids learned something from it.
Steve?
When you asked them what they thought of the project and how it made them feel, did you get any answers, or what were some of the answers you got? Like, I'm just curious I agree with you. I think I like the way you laid it out. It really does put a tangible contact with history, which you don't get from just reading a paragraph on a page. But I'm curious to hear what maybe some of the kids said.
So a lot of the responses I got was that they liked how this was a different way than they've been talked about the Holocaust previously. And when they saw the full classroom, because Mr. Danable can say this because he came and saw my lesson, it went all across my classroom. So by having it go all around the classroom, it led to a lot of discussions. And it wasn't just my Holocaust and genocide class. I teach world history, I teach psychology. So also having students that I wasn't necessarily teaching about this, they asked me, who's that person? Why is that person there? So it bred a lot of conversations, not just for those specific students. So they really seem to enjoy it. They seem to like it a lot. I'm teaching it again next semester. So this is something that I do plan on doing again. But I think now that I've done it before, now I know what questions to kind of hone in on and how to get them hopefully to talk more. Because again, like I said, it was the first week, so I didn't know if they were gonna be willing to talk. So that's also why I wrote down questions. So if they weren't willing to talk, they can at least write. Hopefully.
As Mr. Tovas had said, I happened to be in this class doing an observation during one of these times. And if you guys could have seen the student engagement during this time, it was unbelievable. You know, kids up and down out of their seats, moving about the room. Not a lot of talking, but talking amongst each other was definitely happening, but it was on topic. It was about the project. And when you could see everything spread around the room, it was quite remarkable. Kids really did seem to enjoy it from that block that I had during that time.
I think with children these days, I mean, they've kind of had a period of time where, you know, yes, we've had little skirmishes and, you know, in different spots, but I mean, this was, we had the World Trade Center, but most of them, none of them were born then. And that was over 1,000 times more deaths than the World Trade Center. I mean, it's a generational thing, and I don't think people, this generation, or even, you know, some of my generation realize that, how that can affect you later on, or affect families later in life and stuff like that. I mean, my family moved from Armenia to the United States. I mean, my great-great-grandfather didn't speak any English. So, I mean, people moved all over the world because of this, and people, you know, the Jewish population moved all over the world because of this as well. I mean,
Well, it's a good point. Like, think about how many people, you know, lost their grandfather because they had to leave here and go fight there because of that, because it was the right thing to do.
My brother is a Holocaust survivor. So for me, I definitely feel that personal connection, but I also do bring it to the classroom. My grandfather did go back to Auschwitz and he has a whole documentary on it. So I do show my kids that. I have primary documents from him. So it's definitely something that isn't that far out. I mean, my grandfather's still alive, fortunately, but
That's the scary thing. It wasn't that long ago. Right.
Yeah, it was about 5, maybe 10 years ago that I had seen Band of Brothers. And the last episode is the revelation of the camps that they had. And that the first instinct the soldiers had was to try to feed the victims. And unfortunately, the ones that were fed didn't go well, and had to be told not to feed them. And it was just interesting in that, here we are fighting a war, and our soldiers don't know the depth of what is going on behind the scenes. And that's often the case, right? I mean, in a sense, but it was just, as I've told people, I went to school over 40 years ago, high school, and we never got to, in history, World War II. And it's just bizarre that, that happened, and that, my knowledge of World War II is learned for the last 40 years, as opposed to where I should have been learning about it. But it was just interesting. The project sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I went
Bill.
on. I mean, just leading up to how this all came about and how basically the German, population looked at it as, we're doing great things with our country. I mean, it is scary how you can go from what was a relatively peaceful nation at the time, even after World War One. Yes, that happened, but I mean, they went, they were gearing up towards, okay, we're gonna take back our nation. And they basically did try to eliminate a whole population, saying it's their fault, and scared enough people to say it has to be their fault. We have to get rid of them. And, that can happen, it's happened in other places as well. And it is scary and how quick it can happen.
I mean, it's not happening today.
Yeah.
Right, anything else? Questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing, thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
All right, public input. Open up public input. Anyone? Nope. Student representative is, I guess, out.
Emailed us. He's got midterms.
Yeah.
Sorry he couldn't make it.
All right, that's fine. I don't think he sent anything to be
Nope.
rather done.
Well, I could check with someone else that's a little closer connection to him. Don't think John is saying he's got anything, so I think we're good.
I don't know what he communicated. We have a school board member resignation.
Yep, Ms. Boucher has resigned her position as of January 20th. See policies BBC, board member or district officer resignation, and BBE, vacancies and unexpired term fulfillment. This agenda item is scheduled for board acknowledgement of the resignation and for your discussion about, or if you want to appoint someone to the vacancy until the March election.
So first we, accept the resignation?
I'll make a motion.
we don't.
No?
We don't have to accept it. Okay.
Because it's not like you, as the policy. Can't take it back. You can't deny
okay.
it. You can't deny it.
Can't say no.
We used to, well, to accept them.
Yeah.
And when you be told that, wait a minute, what are you gonna vote? No, and then they have to?
No.
That's not how it's gonna work.
Poor Beth's gonna get dragged back.
So, like, there's no official way to acknowledge it. other
I think
than-
you just say thank you for your time and,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Move on.
Nope, do we want to talk about,
Right,
want to talk
to-
about filling the position, letting it go? I think there's 3 meetings before. When's election day? March what? Yeah, so we'd have 2 Februaries and the first one in March. Yeah, so 3 meetings and the deliberative.
To me,
1, 2. Yeah, yep, you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like by the time we go through the whole process, it's gonna be.
Yeah, you gotta take the letters, you have to, yeah, just. Because in theory, the earliest we could have interviews would be the first meeting in February, not necessarily the first. That's the earliest we could do it.
They might be
Deliberative, what,
accepted
the
for all
second
2
week or
meetings.
first week?
The weekend, that weekend after, so, yeah. So to me, it's not value added.
If people are listening and you wanna run there, it's a open position on the board. There will be
Two
2.
open seats
For
and,
2 years, 1 for 3.
sign up started today.
I think so.
And yeah, they did. And I believe, she's going to be at the library from 3 to 5 every night this week, I believe. For signups.
I get on my phone.
All right, check it out, Joe. Confirm, so I don't send people down to the library for no reason.
And I misspoke. It's not the 14th, it's the 10th.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Man,
we said
well, that
it. I
changes
don't-
everything.
I said it. I want it on record that it's
No, you're right.
the 10th, not the
So
14th.
She was there from 3 to 5. Tomorrow she'll be there from 5 to 7.
Okay.
Saturday 10 to 12, Monday 1 to 3, Thursday 5 to 7, and Friday 2 to 5.
Was the period for 2 weeks?
Just
End
saying.
of the month?
When does it end?
It says the
The
30th.
31st.
So that-
I believe so. That's that Friday, isn't it?
No, 30th is,
Is it the 30th? Yes, it is the 30th because the deliberative for the town is the 31st.
Right, so I was completely wrong. She will not be there every night this week.
That's on the town website, right, Joe?
That would be
I
the
don't think it
school.
would be, no.
I don't know if the
SA
town
would.
has it.
Yeah,
you can also call her up and make an appointment as well, so.
Okay.
So if you can't make one of those times.
And that's Dana Zulaga, if you don't know.
Right.
So we're good with that.
I believe so.
All right. Moving on. Monthly financial update.
So the financials before you tonight are through December 31st, 2025, 6 months into the fiscal year. The first page is your revenues. So far, everything as of this point is expected to come in. I will say that in January, we have received our special education aid. We received $820,986. So as you can see, I budgeted 500. So that is 320,986 more than what we budgeted for. And then the impact fees, we did receive 2, and that was for $53,631. So there's a shortfall on that one for $21,369. Any questions on revenue?
Question. So after March, when the budget gets approved, right, we get it before then, but so how does that work? Do you get a regular installment from the town? Do they cut you a check for $21 million or how does that work?
So it's actually not between me, it's between the treasurer and
So the
the
town does it
town treasurer.
themselves, essentially?
Yep, so they work together on it. I believe they've followed the same schedule for years. So it's typically, we get like whenever it is, and we kind of offset it about when the time that they know we're going to get our money from the state as well. So if we know that we're going to be getting $1 million from adequacy as well as the $800 from the special education aid, and that's also about the time that the taxes are supposed to be due. So we'll I think not take a payment at that period, and we'll just take a payment the following month because we have that money. So they work it out on their end.
I'm just curious. So-
Yeah, we haven't had an issue with it. I think it's something that's been set in place way before my time, probably for 20 years or so. But it works out.
Yeah, it's-
It's crazy how it works and
But it works.
how much that individual's paid and the amount of responsibility they have.
You told me.
Treasurer, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, they can do millions of dollars and they get paid $3,000 a year.
Yeah.
And we voted, we put it on the ballot to raise it $500. I got voted down.
We tried to get one of this.
We're to pay,
$500.
we're to pay a deputy because if something happens to the treasurer, we're screwed.
I just,
They're like, yeah, no, you're not paying
like
that.
Marty, I'm like, oh my God,
It was rough.
the
I think it
responsibility.
was the way that we went about it.
Well, the contract got voted down that year too. That was a
COVID year.
conscious effort
Yeah.
to just down with the school budget. All right, so that's that. Gotta get signed.
The second page is your summary of general fund expenditures by object code through December. So we're still experiencing a shortfall, about $300,000. The top numbers from salaries through retirement, that's over 716,000. You can see that we have the savings of 618 from professional services for students. That's supposed to help offset that overage. But then we have the architecture services, that's over by 285, and the lease for the energy project for 258. and Terry's working on the communication piece of it.
Well said, when you're done with the expenditures.
Go ahead.
I know we talked and we were in a quasi blowdown freeze or, permafrost. I don't know where we're at exactly, but my question becomes, at what point do we say the numbers, right now we're in the red? At what point do we say we're in a freeze and we need to get that below?
Basically, John, we're not approving anything unless it's something that's fluid. So if it's athletics, because athletics are ongoing, we can't,
No, I understand. that there are
I'm just
things
telling you that we're basically, there's nothing being bought. Unless it's a fluid situation like athletics, FCS, they have to buy groceries.
Right, I understand.
Trying to think,
Grants.
wood shop, he needs to go out and buy some wood because, I don't think he has, but we're
I understand.
basically not approving anything right now.
Start collecting pallets.
Because at some point, we're gonna have to go beyond that if we're still in the red.
Yep.
We can't end the year and nobody can attribute it to special education.
Not this time.
No, right? So that's my concern. It's just, thank you.
And the next page after that is your food service. So right now, after all is said and done, I'm actually showing that the general fund transfer will be about $21,000 less than what we budgeted of the 100,000.
Go.
What day is
That's a
it?
good sign.
Well, that's also a fluid.
Yeah, like,
We've got. I know, I'm just,
Yeah.
that's not gonna last.
Because I
4.5 more months of, or actually 5.5 months of eating.
Yeah.
Go.
yeah,
Um,
and I always fully anticipate that we're gonna get the sales, so I think last year we came pretty close, but you never know what people's personal situations are, Somebody may lose a job and now all their kids are just packing a lunch, so. And then after that is the detail of expenditure by object code. That's all I have.
questions.
Sorry. Have we figured out what we're doing with, the Eversource situation with, solar? How we're managing that? In that, I know we're getting we're accumulating
Credits,
what's that?
credits.
Credits or something, right? So we're just gonna manage it in the sense that we're getting credit and it's being paid off. So we're not, in essence, getting money back from Eversource. We're just not paying. If we get $10,000, we're just not paying that. We're paying the rest of it. Is that how that's working?
Yep. So we just received an email from, I think it's Eversource and EEI and the state, that I have to, that will get my attention this week, tomorrow or Friday. And it's basically, but I think it's like the next steps about what we do about selling those recs and getting those.
Selling those
That's what recs, that's what they're called.
REKs, I don't know.
RECs.
RECs,
Yeah.
okay, CK, same sound.
Yeah. So we're in that, I've never done this before, so I'm just learning about it. So there were some emails going back and forth. I know Terry's been signing a bunch of paperwork. It seems to be happening when I'm like out for the day or something. And Terry has been handling that for me while I've been out. So-
Yeah, you're right. On Harmon.
Any money that makes wouldn't just offset the cost of the other two schools? Like, that doesn't cover all?
That's what I have to figure out.
It's not gonna cover though. We're still gonna have
No, but-
electric though, yeah.
But it should offset some of the cost.
It offsets this, basically this building, and the deal was that it offset this one and a portion of the middle school. Where the elementary would basically be, we pay the full bill and there'd be a reduction at the middle school, that. I can say we've received a lot of the grant money coming in. We've received some rather large checks in that instance for Eversource. And so, thank God that's come in. I think we're still a little short, but the money is coming in all of that area too. So that's a good thing. Because there was no guarantee on that. And it's
Make big copies, we make big copies of the checks and take pictures with them. For certain committee members.
Even if I'm short 50 grand, somebody's gonna be mad, so.
So the follow-up to it is, I'm assuming it's easily tracked as to how much we have.
It's supposed to
saved,
be.
for lack of a better word, on electricity this year as a result of the solar array.
It's supposed to be. And I'm assuming what's going to happen is when everything is all set up, we're actually going to be able to go online, I hope, and see those energy savings. I don't know if it's going to be monthly or quarterly, but we should have that at our disposal as well.
You can also go online now and see the power that's being generated from the solar panels. Jen just added that to our webpage. I don't know where it's at, but it's on there. And I can say that the solar field is totally out, it's fixed now because we had an accident when they were repairing.
I saw
Yep, that little corner thing has been fixed, so the whole thing is running again.
It was to be expected. You're gonna break some panels over 20 years, right?
I don't expect that, Tony, but it did happen, so.
It's glass.
I know. So, yeah.
Thank you, Marjorie.
Welcome.
So, yeah, they're insured anyway. It's a,
For warranties, and we didn't, yes, we actually have, so we do have a ton of extra panels. When they bought them, they bought extra ones. So if one was to get broken,
or we had like a,
rock thrown on
yeah,
something like,
like what about like 60 of them? That's amazing. Like,
I don't know how many we have.
we had a hailstorm,
That's covers through insurance, yes.
like vandalism.
I think that would be insurance too. Yeah, you're not, yeah, that's against the law, so
That's
it's not.
the only two
that
things
would
I'd be worried about.
What would I say?
Like cars
not
drive off.
wear and tear.
Maybe a car, but
To drive off the road and up the hill.
every day on the
That would be
news.
interesting.
You see some crazy
Blocks
stuff.
on that, you're gonna need a pretty good vehicle to get to them.
Don't be surprised. Watch the news every morning and there's a car in the house somewhere.
Way the other morning, I'm coming to work,
There's a car and
slid through the interstate through the intersection right into Tuckaway.
Guy drove in through a police station in Massachusetts
Yeah.
to the front door.
Two of them
Well,
the same week.
one guy tried to light the chief's car on fire in the parking lot.
Well, that's, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. Any questions on the monthly financial update? Operating budget warrant article.
At the public hearing, the Budget Committee voted to revise the school district's 26-27 proposed operating budget to $32,120,915. This is a decrease of $588,839 to the original proposed budget of $32,710,754. The agenda item is for the board to recommend or not recommend this new operating budget for our warrant. Full articles below. I don't think I will have to read that, do I? Pretty understandable.
Maybe. I'm not sure I understand it.
I will say that this proposed operating budget is slightly below our default budget now.
Is this, I mean, we discussed it already, but this is a cut that we can manage.
This is a cut. Go ahead, John. I'll be quiet.
Well, it's what, to me, it's too low. And I voted accordingly at the budget. committee.
Cut is too low or the budget's too low?
Both. The budget that the budget committee approved, in my mind, is too low. Now, I'm sure we don't all agree on where the number should be. But I believe it's too low. And I don't like the logic that was used, and I didn't articulate myself as well as I should have when it was there. Not that it was gonna slow the vote down or stop the vote. But we're cutting basically the difference between on the lease payment, the money that we're cutting at the 588 plus is reducing the balloon payment that we have down to what we have to pay every year before and after 26, 27. And if you look at it, you go, oh, wait a minute, we're getting offset. And that's what they were trying to say is, well, the grant money you're getting is going to offset that. Well, that's not how it works. Because we still have to cut someplace else. We're not going to be able to spend someplace else in the budget because we have to cut expenses by $588,000. So for me, I won't support it. I have puzzled looks. I don't.
I agree. I think the cut they made was a little excessive. I'm gonna disagree though, which, I mean, in theory, Doug kind of had a point where, you know, yes, we can't 100% rely on the grant money, but we're supposed to be getting the grant money to,
You just said we got most of it,
Offset.
right? Like, did you just say we got most of it in?
Yep.
So I mean,
Most of the 588?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, especially if we already have most of it.
If you think about it, Joe, we're getting in revenue. So we're not getting town of that 588.
I do have a question though, that.
So we're getting grant money in the 588. So we're gonna the hope is that's gonna be covered. Correct?
But we have most of it, don't we?
Yes, most of it we have. We have most of it.
We're gonna have to cut someplace else because we're not asking the voters to raise and appropriate that 588,000. So that has to be cut someplace else in the budget.
And just get cut from the loan payment that's,
Yeah.
isn't that in the operating budget?
But we still have to pay it.
Yeah, but it's not in the default budget, so well, obviously it wasn't a big deal. You have attorneys.
So does it have to do with the default? It has
Because
to do
if
with,
it was something that had to be paid, that we had to sit there and put in a budget, it would have been in the default budget. Obviously, they said you can figure out where to pay for it somewhere else. I mean, we already have. By the way, I do have a question on this. If we have it already, aren't we supposed to, how do we save it for next year?
Gonna put it in.
I've worked with, I spoke with the attorneys and our auditors earlier. So like, there's gonna have to be a way that we're gonna have to like, put it aside. Like, it's gonna have to go into like an account. I haven't figured that part of it out yet, but
So that's right. 'cause
It should be
usually,
fine.
By the end of the year, we have to figure out what we're gonna do with any money. that
it's
we
kind of like,
take it in, so.
right, but it's kind of like when I do my end of year reports
Yeah.
and we have those encumbrances.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like those, it's gonna kind of fall under that category of it.
So it'll be considered encumbered revenue. Right, we have it, but we have it allocated.
Something like that.
So basically on July 1st, we're gonna sit there and write a check out to EI for the balance of 500, whatever $1,000. So again, I'll agree with, Tony here. I mean, it's out of the budget if we're paying it July 1st because we already have the money. Does it need to be back in the budget?
Well, so that was gonna be my question. We added the 588, we added the payment. Because the idea was we wanted it in the budget in case we didn't get the grant.
Mhm.
Because we wanted to make sure we could make the payment if the money didn't come in. So that's why we put it in. The budget committee saw fit to remove it. But if we've already got most of the money, then I mean, I kind of feel like that is pretty close to an offset. Like if we added it to the budget because we didn't know we were going to get the revenue we needed, we were going to ask the voters to help us make this payment. Expecting that we wouldn't need that because the grants would come in and it would be like, okay, well, we'll spend that somewhere else. But we didn't earmark that money for anything else in the budget. It's earmarked for this payment, correct?
Yes.
So I think there's two things going on right now. I see what you guys are saying. But I kind of tend to agree with John because I see how you guys are thinking about it as an offset, right? We got the revenue, now we're going to expense it. But on one hand, I'm accounting for that revenue during this tax setting process, right? So right now, I'm saying, okay, before that change, okay, it's gonna be 91 cents per 1,000, right? Because we accounted for that expense. I've now taken that expense out, that tax rate has now gone below the default budget. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, it's about
48 cents. So we went from 91 to 48 cents. If you guys are still going to expend it from that budget because we got the revenue, now it's bringing it back up to the 91.
I don't understand.
Because,
Yeah, so-
because the
Well, I just
revenue's
went,
there.
I followed you all the way to
Revenue's
the brick
not
wall.
changing. I've not changed the revenue. So that money for that grant that we got, where we increased the revenue, we increased the expenses. They removed the expense, so I'm still accounting for that revenue. Do you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
And if you're still gonna expense it, it's.
Now it's like a double dip.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like twice as low.
We have to cut someplace else in the budget, that 588 number.
It's so
That's
hard
a-
because I
we're
see
not
where you guys are
getting-
coming from most of
We're
it.
not getting town revenue of 588.
Right.
I guess
So
that
if we're
was-
not getting that, that means someplace else has to be cut in addition to the wait, that's what I was That's why there was conversation that night about tuition, out of district placement tuition, cutting it. Well, you do that, that still means we have to pay it. That means we just cut someplace else. And it's not really cutting where you want it to cut because we have to spend it.
The revenue is not from the town though, it's from
No,
grant money.
But we're getting two revenues.
Why would we getting two for the?
Well, we
same
get
project?
more than two. We get federal money, we get state money, we get,
That's on the grants.
on the grant side, we get, a multiple, but for this, we're getting that money. And it's gonna, the intent was to offset this 800,000 plus number that we have. 834, 850, whatever. But because that budget line is cut, we're still gonna get that revenue.
Yep.
And that will still offset that amount of 800 plus. But we're gonna be short on the local revenue, $588,000 because we have to cut someplace else in the operating budget that amount because we're not gonna have that revenue from the state, the school, the town.
Why would we cut? Why would we're still getting what would be the budget right now. I mean, even if we added it in the budget, we'd be giving back the money later on. So we're not giving back the money.
What would we give back?
Because if we paid them out and then we were getting the revenue back that same year, we'd be expensing it and then we'd be adding on the revenue that we'd be getting.
We would have a surplus of 588
Right,
Yeah.
because we
So
didn't
why-
spend the town revenue.
right.
We're talking about this year. We're talking, next year,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to spend less on the expenditure side by $588,000 in other places other than the lease.
So sorry.
We can't take it out, isn't it in the budget under that? I'm confused.
So Marjorie, just to go back to what you were saying. We have an expense line for 588 and a revenue line for 588. Right. That's what we
I
have.
have a line for $500,000.
Say it one more time.
I have a revenue line for $500,000. That bump up was supposed to try to include all of it, but I've only budgeted $500,000 for revenue. And I think it was an increase of 588.
Can we just talk round numbers so it's simple instead of doing the exact numbers?
Let's call it
Just say the
600,000.
grant or revenue is 500,000 is because we're,
And I'm with you on that. So the question is we put in an expense line for that 500. We have a revenue line for 500 that we added to the budget because we wanted to make sure we raised that money to pay this bill. But we have also got a secondary amount of money of the exact amount because that's what the grant was for. So my question is, if we get rid of the expense because the budget committee get rid of that expense, and we have two forms of revenue for that same amount of money, don't we now have an extra 500,000? And why wouldn't we then remove the revenue from our budget? Because now we've lost the expense and the revenue. And we can still have the money to make the payment because the grants came in.
Some of the additional revenue that we received is actually supposed to complete to pay EEI.
but I am over $500,000 in revenue coming in right now. So again,
So let me ask you
In
this.
this school year, but not next school year.
but that revenue coming in this year is going to be allocated for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
We're going to say
do a
that money
rollover.
has to be,
Oh, I
how
understand.
we're gonna do that, what money's coming in, revenue this year is going to be for next year. Or we just call the bank and say, we're making the payment early.
Let me give you a hypothetical. Okay. We knew we had this extra money that we were gonna have to pay this year. We knew we were getting the revenue. If I didn't put the revenue and the expense in there, what would have happened?
Hope that's a trick question because
The
I don't.
estimated tax impact would have been 91 cents. I think, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I do, and I understand what you said before about reducing the tax impact. But if we have a situation where we're asked to pull the expense by the budget committee, right?
Mhm.
They tell us we have to cut that out of our budget.
Because they want you to take it out of the capital reserve fund.
Right, but we can make that choice.
Make that decision later.
So we have in the budget, the 500,000 we added to the budget for that payment. I'm gonna, let me get through all this because I know it's not gonna sound right when I first say it. We don't need it anymore because technically we don't have the expense. I know we really do, but if we lose the expense and we reduce the budget by the 500,000, the revenue side. Because it's not money we really need to raise anymore. Right? So then shouldn't the tax impact go down? Because the money that we were going to raise and appropriate, we're getting through grants that will roll over. We've gotten most of it. So if we're going to take this 500 and move it into next year's budget for this payment, just however that has to happen legally. I don't understand.
Already up 500, right?
Right, we're already up. That's what I'm sorry, I know I'm being thick, but it seems to me like if
I'm on
If
the
we're-
same page as
we're
you.
gonna reduce one, why wouldn't we reduce the other? Why wouldn't we keep the tax impact lower, take the 500 we've gotten from the grants? Whatever we have to do to make it the payment next year, because that's really what the revenue is from and for, or make the payment early. However, that has to be expended to make it legal. Then we don't really need the revenue or the expense next year because the payment's been made. Both should come down. That's the way. This might not be a real math, but this is the way my mind is folding over.
So we have the $500,000 worth of revenue, right, coming in. We have an $846,000 payment that needs to be made.
So we have a separate line for the 285.
So we should still have the 200 and something budgeted
Yeah.
because, well,
$200,000 in savings
right.
We have,
every year.
but we have the 285 for the payment in the budget.
Correct.
Regardless of savings, that part of the budget is there, right? I'm asking, I'm not,
I'm trying, when we did this budget, we sat, Todd, Marjorie and I sat down and said, you need to find $200,000 in savings. Because that is what is supposedly guaranteed through this project. What we needed to budget. Granted, we have to put it in there, but we cut electricity, we cut propane, we cut everything down
Added wood chips.
to get it to $200,000. That was it. Knowing that when we did this project, it was approximately $56,000 was going to be our payment. And again, that was conservative. A conservative payment. So in that budget, we've cut $200,000. Yes, but we had to put 256 in every year for the payment. I get that over there, but everything else has been reduced. So it's a wash. A wash. You're not going to see that though. You are going to have to raise that 256,000, but it, so, you know, our electric bill went down, our propane went down, our oil went down, our oil went zero here. So it's that's how that works. Because that is hard to see because it's, 10,000 here, 15,000 there until you get to that number.
and I get that. Like in the budget, there's a loan payment already budgeted, whether it came from other line items or not. There's a budget, there's a line item in our budget that says EEI payment 285 or whatever it is. Right? So we have I know we reduced other lines because we have savings, which was the whole point. That this would pay for itself because it's being paid for by the savings. So we have a payment that comes from other line items, but there is a line item for the 285 part of that bill. The extra for the 1 year is the 550 or whatever it is.
Yes.
So that part, that's my question. So that part of the 800,000 should already be in and should remain in the budget because that wasn't cut. It was only the balloon payment part that was cut.
Which is 500 and some odd thousand dollars.
Right, which we've already received most of in the form of revenue from rebates
Most.
or grants.
Yeah, my head, I don't,
So,
I'm
I'm
probably
trying to
right, but I
think-
just don't understand
I'm
it.
trying to think of a better way to
Way to
explain
look
it so you
at it
guys
is-
can.
yeah. We got revenue here, expenditures.
Yep.
You reduce expenditures, which has been done by 588,000. That means your revenue has decreased.
Why?
Up.
Because the money.
588.
That 588 will go in.
No. Regardless, the bottom line, how we calculated the 91 cents is we took revenue and said it has to equal expenditures. Then we know that we're getting say, 800,000 in grants. That means what we had to raise and appropriate from taxes is reduced by that amount. And that's calculated in the numbers Marjorie presented to us. Which means you reduce one number, both have to be reduced. And what I'm saying is, on the expenditure side, we still have to spend the 800,000+. Regardless, where we get the money, we still have to spend it. And right now, the logic was we were going to spend it from revenue, not use CRF.
Mhm.
Which means then, because we've reduced expenditures in one location, just like if we said we were going to cut or the budget was cut by 100,000 in the bus transportation. And we still know we have to pay the 100,000. We're going to take that 100,000 from someplace else.
But in that case, we'd be getting $100,000 from somebody.
No, we're not getting, because the problem we've got is we're looking at it as an island, that this lease payment is an island. It's not an island. It is part of the whole picture of the revenue that we are getting as a district.
But we don't need that revenue anymore. We don't need the $500,000. We got it.
We don't have it for fiscal year 26,
That's what
27.
they just said it's for next year.
We have it this year.
For
And
next
then it's going to be
Have it now.
moved. So
Account for it next year.
we still have to account for it. And that's how we budgeted the year for it.
So is
In
there,
revenue, we've accounted that revenue of the grant money in our revenues, which means local property taxes aren't going to raise and appropriate the 588 that we still have to pay.
so
The revenue will be decreased on the local side.
the only reason the balloon payment is in next year's budget is because that's when we were expecting to pay it and expecting to get the grant.
We were probably expecting to have it all in by then.
Right. So the question I have then is, and I understand what you're saying. We have the money in our pocket today. It's not for this year. We have to end our year on July. That's my question.
Just pay
So
the
why
balloon
can't
payment
we
this
just-
year?
Why can't we just go to the bank and say, hey, we got the money in grants earlier than we expected. We're gonna give you the 588,000 balloon payment right now, which takes it off of next year's expenses. So if we have the revenue and we pay the bill now, in this year, you have accounted for the money as a revenue. You've expended it the way it was supposed to be expended. And now next year, the payment is right back to what it's supposed to be every year, which is the 285.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that because it's a lease. And they worked really hard with us on coming up with that
Again,
schedule.
We could ask.
Yeah, I can't imagine a bank's gonna take a payment early and not be happy about it. I'm just,
You guys paid extra net, last year. There was 258 due, you guys 300. So that was to help pay it down a little
I'll
bit.
pay it down.
So they may allow us to do that. But also the problem with that is too, is that right now we've only received some of the money. I don't know how much more we're going to be receiving. If we can receive that full amount and make that full payment, if they allow us to. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather do that than to have to keep like a separate spreadsheet to keep track of, oh my gosh, this is what we paid then, this is what we paid when. Because I've already had to do it with them.
I don't know if we can get too detailed, so tell me if you can't answer this,
So-
but how much have we received of the 588? Most of it, half of it, 2/3?
486.
Okay, so we're about 100 short. So,
So the other thing that's coming into play, so we have grants that we're waiting to come in. We have the lease payment that's due. That lease payment did not pay for EEI's work completely because some of this grant money was supposed to pay EEI the remaining amount of the money.
How much? is that? Most of,
We still owe about $500,000 to E
You've also
EEI.
got you also got the grant money for the boiler too, which was what? Three, so that's another 360.
so we got 480 and 360 in grants that have come in.
But I have to figure out what is supposed to go where.
I'll be honest with you right now. They haven't finished yet because I still see a door missing.
I'm with you, Joe.
Stop reminding me. Cause I had that conversation with Terry today.
So yeah, I'm agreeing with
So that's why I'm like, when you guys ask me like all these questions about the project and stuff like that, there's so many moving pieces still. It's not finished yet. Okay, we've received 80% of the money from this place. I still need 20% over here. We filed a 990T. We don't file tax returns. We filed a 990T through tax savers who helped us do it to get the IRS money for the boiler for the 486. So there's like a lot of moving pieces that we're still handling and trying to get our money on all the pieces. Our hands on all the money.
Again, if it comes to, you can reduce the grant money on the revenue side if we have to, because we already have the money for next year. If you gotta reduce it in both spots, why am I gonna say we're gonna get grant money when I already have best off? I don't know why I would do that. Because now we gonna put in a special lockbox. People
Can we-
thousands voting
Can we find out if,
aside.
so if we can find out if they'll take an early payment, and I'm sure there's a lot that's left to figure out. I know I'm simplifying, so forgive me. But if we can find out if they'll take an early payment and that will take away the expense and the revenue for next year, because that 588 that is the subject of all of this is the balloon payment. And then if we have already paid that a year earlier, 6 months, whatever it is early, then we don't need to have it as an expense on next year's balance sheet because we've already paid it this year because the money came in before we were expecting it to. So if they will take an early payment, maybe we don't have 588 if we have 480, and if we, I don't know how that would work for you in terms of how that has to be allocated. But I say all that I would much rather see if we can come up with a solution this year to help offset next year than take $500,000 out of next year's budget from other places. Because I don't know where it comes from without cutting personnel and cutting programs. And I'd rather try to be creative with what we have than cut from next year's budget, just because that seems the simplest line item.
Fortunately, you're gonna have to come up with a number tonight.
Can't imagine them saying, no, we don't want your money.
Or vote or to
No, you
approve
guys
or
have
whatever
to vote tonight.
I
tonight.
just have to, whether or not we accept it, right?
Yeah.
Or not accept it, recommend it. Oh, God, sorry.
Oh,
See, this is what happens when I think it's gonna be a quick meeting.
So.
You know,
I hate this project and I hope I never have to see another one like it in my lifetime.
I voted against it.
Oh, I don't blame you.
I'll make a motion to accept the operating,
Recommend,
yes, to recommend the operating budget of $32,121,915. We can't change it right now, so.
Yeah, I'll second.
second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Yeah. There's a twist.
It's so because you voted no at the budget committee.
He was supporting the will of
I
the
know.
board.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
know.
a great explanation. All right, so are we done with that?
I'm done with.
Please.
Now the next one.
He was still on time now.
I know.
Don't start.
Oh,
You were
Lord.
ahead.
All right. Open enrollment.
All right, so I'm going to read this and then I'm going to do some explaining. So at the November 19th meeting, the school board voted unanimously in opposition to allowing open enrollment. Since then, our attorney has advised us that if we don't set limits on open enrollment through a warrant article, we could be required to pay for resident students to attend an open enrollment school in another district. As such, I recommend revisiting this topic and ask the board consider the following warrant article. Shall the Raymond School District vote to adopt the provisions of NHRSA Chapter 194-D and become an open enrollment school district under the terms of the RSA, and to omit 0 students from an outside the Raymond School District to grades, we're going to say 9 through 12 school, and to establish that 0% of the resident students population are eligible to seek open enrollment outside of the district. So this came about, there's a school up north that has open enrollment. They were taking students from another school district. That school district sued, and that school district lost that suit and was told that they would have to pay that open enrollment district 80% of their tuition. After multiple configurations, rereading the decision, the lawyers decided that because this school district did not decide whether they're open enrollment or not, that's why they had to pay. So now the recommendation is that you decide your open enrollment and set your numbers to 0 if you don't want any students to go in or any students to go out. That's the technicality supposedly the school district got caught up on. I am confident that there are no surrounding school districts within 15 miles of us that are going to be open enrollment. So they're either not making a decision or they're putting a warrant article saying 0, 0. However, there is a school district, the one up north, who is open enrollment, has now decided to open a online school and is accepting students in their online school and charging the same amount. So if a student here in Raymond decided to enroll in this online school, we would be on the hook for 80% of our per pupil cost for an online school that is basically based out of Indiana. So they've partnered with this school in Indiana.
This is a public high school?
Yep.
Can we go back
That's-
to the budget?
That is the conundrum. I can tell you that several of the smaller districts near us are taking no action. Some of the bigger districts around us that you would think somebody might want to go to is saying 0, 0. And they're willing to go to court to fight this because they're taking the posture of no means no. Again, I have no problem with open enrollment, but I have a problem with Raymond school dollars going somewhere else without the voice of the taxpayer, just like in Fremont. I don't feel my money in Fremont should be going to support Oyster River or Amesbury or wherever. It needs to stay in Fremont. If the state decides they want to do this, then in my mind, the state should figure out how to fund it. They funded other things. That's my political statement.
Currently, as it sits,
Yep.
we can say, all right, we're not taking any in because we're not an open enrollment
Yep.
school. But that doesn't limit the number of students that could leave our district. We can't prevent them from leaving currently.
Only if they go to an open enrollment district. They just can't decide to go to Epping. I'm just using Epping as a thing. They
It
can't.
makes sense. They would
Unless
have to.
Epping puts it to a warrant and says, hey, we're open enrollment. Right now, there are 2 schools in the state, Prospect Mountain and Franklin. Prospect Mountain is the only one actually taking students. I know that Kearsarge just put it out to theirs. They're the first one to do this. And because they're up north and buffering them, those districts up there, they've said they would take in 30, but let 0 out. Prospect Mountain, who is the one that's kind of in all this, there is that and again, I forget this, whether it's 20 or 30 students, but again, they don't let anyone leave. They set the number of kids they can leave at 0.
One of the biggest things that has come about of this is special education because
Oh,
they don't know who's paying for it. If, now I'm the sending district to, a school up north there and they say, well, he needs $50,000-$60,000 worth of special education. They're expecting, well, are we gonna write a check out for that? I mean, just, okay.
Sounds like based on the way things are set up,
Well,
attending
no
school
one knows.
has to pay 80%. Like, I can't imagine they're gonna change that. Sorry.
What grades are we putting in the article that you're suggesting?
Most places, it's just high school, 9 to 12. I've yet to,
If I'm a parent of a 3rd grader,
Yep.
I can, if somebody will accept that, if it's an open enrollment up in, I don't know, wherever.
Yep.
They can go, right?
yes, but I'm just being honest with you, John, I have yet to hear even one elementary, even Prospect Mountain's not doing that and Franklin's not.
Why wouldn't we just?
We could absolutely just
And just say,
pre-K through 12, 0, 0.
Yeah,
that's where I'm
yeah,
thinking.
I mean, if we're gonna
Because
do it.
Then, if next year or between now and whenever, a vote is taken and I don't even know if the vote needs to happen to accept.
Yep.
Open enrollment. But anyways, that's where I'm coming from. is I'd rather just do it now. Because this stands until, if this were to pass, this would stand until it gets reversed on the warrant article in a year down the road.
Yep.
It says in the law here, I don't know if D4 would apply to us, but we can basically say we don't want to take in special ed students or
Yeah.
behavioral students. Or
Good luck with that.
It's in the law.
Well, that's going to be there we go again. That'll be a discrimination lawsuit in a heartbeat.
Oh,
I remember when open enrollment used to mean you moved to a different town.
Massachusetts has this, but what I want to say, I don't want to say what I talk, but basically every affluent district says we won't take anyone.
So it's kind of the opposite here.
right here.
Well, Massachusetts also has revenue sources far
Oh, they got-
bigger.
Also, state,
larger.
$20,000-$30,000 per kid.
Right here, it says, may limit enrollment to specific grade levels, age levels, pupil needs, or areas of academic focus, including but not limited to at-risk pupils, vocation, mathematics, science, art history.
Yep.
I mean, that,
Yes. Then if you have 30 and you get 40 kids, you can do a lottery.
right, but we don't have to take the ones that we don't want.
Yep.
That's the, Joe.
But anyways. What about on the budget side? What do we have to do on the budget side?
We've already done that. We put $1 in each line. We have $1 to receive and $1 to,
So we don't have to worry about that. If we said this article, we're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And since we're going Hotel California style, you come, but you don't leave. It's only revenue that we have to
we
worry
don't
about,
want to
right?
take anyone either. though. We're just.
Is that what they were saying about?
And my method is it just like with the, the law on the videotaping and all that? This law was probably hastily created and now we're gonna have to work.
When I give you John face, what?
We gotta
At the state?
gotta let them work the bugs out, let the courts decide, let them figure it all out. And so if we go 0-0, we're gonna be safe. If we do something else, then we're opening ourselves up to, oh, you didn't want to take my behavior kid, you didn't want to take my special ed student.
I would say, it's 194,
I'm just
two,
saying.
four, right there. I'll be hanging, I'd make a shirt with that RSA on it.
So did
Well, we
they,
could do nothing and just, because that's what a lot, some of the other surrounding districts are just standing pat too.
so did they say, the lawyers say, if we go with this warrant and it goes on and it fails, what does that mean for us in terms of open enrollment?
I guess that would be a no means no then.
But then are we stuck to pay for
Then are
kids
we
that won't
stuck
go to
with
online
that,
school?
that lack of clarity
I
situation?
don't know. If you want an open enrollment and the town said no, in my mind, that means no means no. But does no mean no supersede an RSA? Who knows? It's gonna go to court.
Well, it apparently would have superseded previous years.
Pittsfield never voted.
Well, I'm saying, we were told that the solar thing, if they voted no, we'd have to stop it. And that was
Yep.
already in progress.
Not an RSA though.
But no means no.
Yep.
That was the application.
I can tell you right now, several districts have got a lawyer on retainer. They're ready. And they are like taking the approach that if this goes, we're taking the approach and no means no. One way or the other, whether it's 0-0 or if it fails.
All right, just to keep us rolling, I'll make a motion that we accept the warrant article for presentation to the town as presented.
What grades?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna say pre-K through 12 and with the 0-0.
I'll second it for discussion.
I want you to be aware now too, that when you put this on the floor, somebody can change.
Yes, somebody can amend.
Amend it to 50-50, 200, whatever. I'm just being honest with you. So that's another thing to think about.
Really good point.
I have one tonight, Steve. That's it. I'm done now.
Oh, I'm still trying to find.
I'm still trying to figure out the budget myself.
Once you explain, that's actual tax dollars leaving the town at 18,000, 20,000 per student. Not like if they stay here, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
The cost per student is 18,000, but we're not actually paying that in the sense that if they leave, we will be paying actually 20,000.
Oh, and 80% of whatever they go to, which will likely be higher.
80% of our cost per pupil.
80% of our
You
cost.
guys is right around 21,000, so it'd be $18,000 walking out. the
Oh,
door.
so it's not like if they go to Portsmouth, we gotta pay Portsmouth's price.
But our cost per pupil is.
Oh, okay.
But
I
again,
mean, still, it's a lot of money.
but as Tony and I talked today, when a student comes in here, it's not like $18,000 walks in the door.
Mhm.
When a student leaves, it's not like $18,000 walks out the door. You take 10 students walking out here, that's 180 grand. I gotta make some cuts.
No, 18,000 does walk out the door with that student because you got to pay for them to go. to
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's 180,000. If 10 of them walk out the door, that's $180,000. That's gonna hurt.
Or if they-
Something's gonna go.
Right.
Yep.
Or now you get the University of Phoenix High School popping up and everybody wants to go there.
It's actually called Granite State Academy,
Oh, great.
based out of Indiana. And word on the street is too, there's 2 class action lawsuits against them. I'm just saying, I've did a little research.
Right, so internet school, check that off the list.
All right, so there is a blank that we haven't filled in yet. It says at blank school. Should it just read a to grades K through, pre-K through 12 at all schools or in the Raymond School District or?
Say Reading School District.
I would raise school district because we can't control anyone. I wouldn't say I would be. But, you know, someone's going to a charter school. I mean, I don't get the money for that anyways, but
No, what I'm saying is because what it's saying is, for example, if we had said originally 9 through 12,
Yep.
it would say at Raymond High School.
Mhm.
oh, I see what you're saying. I would just say Raymond School District and that blank there. Yep.
Sorry, I
You
thought the
okay with
blanks
that?
were the from and the to.
Yeah, so K through 12 from the Raymond School District.
Is that okay?
K through 12.
You okay with
I'm
that?
good with that amendment.
I am also.
All right then. Any more discussion?
Now, I would say that if somebody said, hey, let's raise it, I would then follow up. The question is, okay, where are you getting the money from?
Well, yeah, you can bring that on.
Well,
Yeah.
they'd have to
Right?
raise
I
the
mean,
budget at
that's
the
the
same
point
time.
is your example of, okay, if we get 10, that means 180. That means we're cutting
Oh, some's gone.
something by that
It's not-
amount.
I'm more
because we
agreeing
don't
with
have-
that than I am on your little $500,000. I could see this, this is pretty clear to me.
I think you're gonna see this hurt a lot of towns and if they don't take action, potentially.
It could.
You're setting yourself up.
I honestly think this is the safest way, because if we set a guideline of 0, and it maintains, then no one can come in and say, well, you didn't decide what you wanted to do, so we'll take advantage of the wiggle room.
Mhm.
You just lock it down.
Right. So what was that motion again?
To accept,
Okay.
as presented with grades K through
Pre-K.
pre-K through 12 at the Raymond School District.
The second, okay, at 0. And I was second by. Okay. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, nobody? Thank you very much for that.
Now I believe you have to decide if you're going to place it on the warrant.
Where, or if we,
That's what Gordon's last email was for
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh,
That
what-
Jennifer- so-
Yeah.
So,
Impact as to where we put it?
so Gordon's email says, careful about where the open enrollment warrant article is placed. If voters amend to allow students to attend out-of-district open enrollment schools, it may be necessary to amend the operating budget to pay for the cost of doing so. I have suggested that this article precede the operating budget or
Mm.
immediately follow the budget because the two are related.
make it like a zoning.
So it would be our leadoff hitter.
Because then we can take the necessary steps for the operating budget.
If-
Because then we can try to run now, we have to increase the
Well, yeah,
budget,
we're
everybody.
gonna do a 5. We're increasing the budget by.
Right, that's what we gotta
$X
do.
number of dollars to Pay for that cost.
Yeah, we can drive that
Giddy
home.
up. No, I mean, I'm putting it at
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If it's number 2 at deliberative, do we have to keep it there for the vote?
I would think so. It stays
Yeah.
the same as the ballot.
Because it's what's posted, right? I believe it would have to. I don't
I don't
know,
know.
but that's my guess is it would be, it's always stayed the same. We've
The
never changed it.
the only concern I have is that we have a contract coming up, which, you know, sometimes they have signs that are already made and stuff like that. I don't know if they have.
I hope they
It's
haven't.
always been right after the budget.
Have we released our?
Yeah.
Approved our,
We've got to look out for
I'm just saying. Well, actually,
a lot of things and
I get angry again. Huh?
Do we have to address the second one too? I kind of like that one where it is.
What are you talking about?
So it says,
Oh, we'll
That
talk.
one.
Yeah, when we get done with this, we'll bring that up.
oh gosh. We gotta listen to you guys.
all right.
9, we'll be cutting stuff at 9:30. We can't get through it.
sorry,
So we're still deciding on where it goes on the list,
Uh,
or did we
you want a
decide on
motion?
2?
Do we need a motion or you could just tell me?
I would say it's number 2.
before
Good
the
enough?
operating budget,
What's that?
before the operating budget.
Yeah.
I
That
mean, that seems to me.
the operating budget then would be 3.
Yep.
And everything else got to go up by 1.
Yep.
Uh,
Who's reading that one? We need someone to read it.
I'll do it.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's a short one. I'll do that one. if you want.
I get, Jerry gets to speak this.
Who's doing it?
He said he'd do it.
You know, I don't think I can. You're
No.
gonna, I can't do that.
Not the superintendent's.
I just stand there and smile.
I forget which one I said I was gonna do.
I'll do it. I'll, I just need some help. Writing it
I've
out.
seen some school districts where the superintendent talks the entire time during the.
We don't like that here.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm reading the operating budget, so I don't care.
I'll do it. I just don't have an issue. Somebody else.
Wrote you down, John. You're in.
Okay.
When it comes to introduction, everyone introduce themselves or what? Like, do you want me to introduce everybody?
Yeah, it's just faster and cleaner.
All right, just making sure.
I had a 12-minute speech prepared.
Your middle name is like 17 names long.
Supercalifragilistic.
Lineage.
Are we ready to move on?
I think we are.
You're gonna do this one?
Hold on. Read what you got to say. Go.
Back it up.
Yeah.
So this is all an email from Gordon. So that we
At
got
5
this-
o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Just want to be clear.
Yeah. The CBA article does not require a multi-year tax impact. It is not a special warrant article. It is only the operating budget and special warrant articles that require tax impact in districts which have adopted RSA 32. Can't tell if it's a colon or
Yeah,
something.
the law, yeah, for SB two.
Municipal budget committee.
So,
Sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Repeat that, did he say you only need the 1 year or no year?
What a tax impact.
But it does not require a multi-year tax impact.
But we'd have to put the cost though, but not the tax. Just to,
Correct.
yes.
So
But how do you,
what he's talking about is how we've added years. We've estimated years, I'm assuming, years 2 and 3.
Yes.
We've never done that before. I think everything else we've always done. This is the estimated impact for year 1.
crazy because we don't have a tax rate those years. How do you
You
estimate
don't know
something for,
because
there's no way.
it's an estimate.
With the reval coming up, we don't even know where it'll be. It's crazy.
So he's saying we don't have to put years 2 and 3 for tax impact?
Correct.
I'm just asking what he said. I'm not saying it's what we're gonna do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear what the lawyers.
There was something that said we had to do it. I couldn't find it. John came and helped us and I don't have that paperwork here. It's
Right, but that's fine. It's, the attorney's gonna know a little more about this than me.
Is that one of
I'm
the
going out on a limb and
is that a House bill or something? No. Sure.
I'll be honest with you, on this particular article, I think they kind of see this, their big tax impact, and then it kind of goes down. Granted, I don't think it should go down in half, because I think we're gonna kind of go up a little.
It's gonna
bit every year.
change.
Well, like you said, there's going to be.
There's gonna be a reval, even less.
I understand that, but I think they see that, it's not gonna be 24 cents every year if you just see the one. And granted, yes, we're gonna discuss it and talk about it several times over, not that people are gonna listen, but I think it kind of sees that, we're not giving them 24 cents worth of tax impact every year. I mean,
Yeah, because it's like 24, 11, 11 or something like that.
24, 12, 12.
12, 12.
And then 12 will probably like 8 after revaluation.
so we could estimate it at 8 instead.
How do you, who's the one to estimate and what formula do you use to estimate it?
Well, again, that, as I mentioned last time, I would just, whatever the last 5 years have been on increasing,
Yeah,
whatever that rate of inflation on the valuation is, average it out. And you assign it and then say, okay, that's the one in year 2. And then year 3, it's going up by 2%, whatever it is each year. And I understand the reval is going to happen, but we can't anticipate that. So we've got to put a number. We don't actually, according to Gordon.
Right.
It's if we were bonding something, we would have to, because that's the type of article they're talking about in that.
But still, how do you?
I mean, I get Joe's point around it's interesting information so people see it's not a big number for 3 years in a row. It's big number, small number, smaller number. I mean,
I hope people can put that together on their own, though, once they see, this is the impact for that number, and this one's less, that they would be able to figure it out, but maybe not.
I was just thinking, I wonder if we, instead of putting an actual percentage, you could say it's going to be about half of the first year, and that's the best we can estimate.
Does it specify estimated tax? Well, they all do, right? Because all estimated,
So
right?
That's right. So rather than putting a number, we just say it'll be about half. That will be determined in the year that it happens.
I think we have to put a number. I don't
It'll have
think
to be
we-
an
I
actual.
don't think we.
That's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Can you put a percentage? It'll be about 50%. I didn't know.
See if the police department, CBA is doing that.
They are.
Are they? They're putting estimated tax impact for each year?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Kind of 6 and 6, whatever you guys want to do. I think if we don't need to, I kind of hate putting information out that could steer people the wrong way, but in this case, I think it's good information.
Is it precedent setting?
It is.
So I'm just, you need,
That's a little
Well,
scary.
my fear is that someone will think it's 11 on top of the,
24 plus 11 plus.
yeah, which,
Well, it kind of is after the fact. I mean, you're getting 24 cents this year, 11 cents next year,
Mm.
8 cents the year after
Yeah,
that. It is on top of
Yeah,
it.
it's not, it doesn't say 24, 36, 48, right?
I'm trying to get the lowest number
But
possible.
I think they're thinking.
I
the
understand.
Adjustment of inflation is gonna be.
I don't care either way. What's everybody want to do? Leave it.
I say we leave the 3, we, do what John's and estimate how much it's gone up.
That's what you did, right?
I don't think I
No, like 2.5.
accounted for that.
You just left it as is?
Yeah. I left it.
Would definitely not inflate. Go by the average for the last 5 years.
I guess,
Whatever the average is, an increase from obviously year 1 and then year 2 would, year 3 would.
just, if we change that, because the budget committee voted on what we presented,
Mm.
is that an issue?
They voted on a number. not-
Number, not,
Okay.
in my mind,
Yeah, they
Just
just control the
maybe
language.
they. Yeah, they have no bearing on, now they might say, oh, I would have voted against it if I knew it was not at 12 cents, as you said, but well, 13 cents, it's not done because it will change. It's actually gonna go down.
Okay, I just
Well-
wanted that,
And at the end of the day, it's just a recommendation,
well,
right?
Right, but
Steve, when a lot of people walk in, that's
Yeah.
what they do. Especially if something I don't know anything about, I'm gonna trust those individuals to help guide me. Especially with planning and zoning, I over my head, unless it's a big article and people really, focus.
Yeah. Signs everywhere, vote no on 2, like, all right, no.
Yeah.
I don't know what 2 is.
So we're gonna leave it on there? Is that what we're saying?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want people that complain that we're trying to sneak stuff through like multi-year. No, fine, just put everything out there. Take it,
Anything else now on that one? Mr.
You good?
Mr. Whit, Ms. Whitman?
more or last minute, Eagle.
I'm reading his email.
We can go
I
back.
think we're good.
All right.
And if we are, just let us know.
If not, Jennifer's gonna let me know, but
Yep.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Ding, ding. Oh, wait a second.
No.
And we're gonna have all the
All right.
necessary information we gotta post now.
Oh, yeah. Special sized paper.
Should I bring up,
Want to talk about that?
It's ridiculous.
we're on the warrant, it's got specified what we can put up there on the warrant. Correct? The operating budget, we have to put up all kinds of non-germane
Yeah,
information.
my salaries, everything, yeah.
But it's what I'm asking, and I thought the board had talked, maybe I'm not remembering things correctly. For example, we have to put the superintendent's salary up there. My suggestion is on all the paperwork, and Steve had made this recommendation. Similar, I don't know if exactly the same thing. Next to the superintendent's salary, we put New Hampshire state average superintendent salary.
We put all of them and then
More
highlight his in the
information.
list.
If teacher salaries are up there, let's put up the average teacher salary for the state. So any information that we have next to it, we can, and unless somebody says we can't, I would ask attorneys before we did it. But that's what I think we should be doing is,
Jennifer just said, not allowed.
Not allowed to.
Hold on here.
whoa,
Not allowed. We cannot add supplemental information on a separate sheet, not on the same sheet. Not, oh,
Right, but next-
add supplemental, yeah, Jen, we're gonna do it on a separate sheet.
Yeah, we can put up a poster at the beginning of the room with big numbers if we want, right? It just
Yeah.
can't be on the warrant.
Or we'll just list every superintendent in the state and how much they make and we'll put Terry's name in red.
Down the bottom.
No, obviously, I think context matters. A number in a void will look huge until you realize it's one of the smaller numbers around what's a constellation of numbers, right? Not that it's the small, you know what I mean? You're not at the top of the list, and I think people need to understand that.
It's the top of my list.
right. Our list.
Matt, I only make $1,000 more than the governor. I missed that little Facebook post. We almost were clear. They had the red all, I missed it by
You don't
$1,000.
have to go to school to become a governor.
Yeah.
You probably do more work.
We should have to.
Can I-
Do we have to put on the warrant, and this is information that we have to post, do we have to put our test scores? Is that correct?
On the warrant article, we do.
And do we have to, what we put up on paper elsewhere? Do we have to?
I don't think we have to do that. We have to put up,
Because I'm thinking
Every
test
cell
scores
that-
give no reference.
So this HB 1265, this has to be, that's what it, we just have to post it along with the warrant on whatever size paper.
So what do we,
put them
in that size paper that we have to post in 3 separate locations?
Yes.
Do we have to post our test score somewhere there too? Or is it
No,
just
because it's
salaries?
On the warrant.
I understand that. We're talking about posting my salaries,
Mhm.
the top 10 salaries.
Mhm.
We're talking about the average, administrator's salaries over the last 10 years, the average teacher salaries.
Yep.
Do we have to post on that? Do we have to post test scores with that information?
I don't believe so. It's
All right,
just on
no,
the
no,
warrant.
that's all I need to,
Yeah.
that's, we just, yeah.
Because I was gonna ask,
Guys are
Did you wanted
freaking
the
me out
state
right now.
average and
Yeah.
increasements and how it's going? Yep, I got you.
the state has the average superintendent salary.
Yep.
The state has other information. I don't remember if it's
Everything.
broken down by BA or
Yep.
I think it is some.
Administration.
And then I don't know if principals, at what
Yep.
point do they not do it anymore? But we have, the state has that.
Got it.
It has down to vice principal, I believe.
Oh, really?
And I've never really gone below that, but
Mhm.
that's,
Okay.
I get all that.
Have they caught up to like?
Yeah, there's like
the last 5
25
years?
And then we're gonna be.
Which warrant article has the scores on it?
The
budget?
operating budget, which is now number 3.
So the operating budget's gonna list your salary.
No,
No.
no.
That's on a different spot.
Just the warrant article has to list the test scores. We have to post it 3 separate locations.
All the
Top
others.
10 salaries, average on a special 20 by 12 sheet of paper that you can't buy anywhere in the state.
Right.
So we have,
So we have to post a chart that has the average cost per pupil over the next 10 years on said size sheet.
for the next 10 years.
No, from 10 years, from
From 10
nine.
years.
Oh,
It's
oh, oh.
Fiscal year 16 to fiscal year 25.
It's all in our budget packet
So
anyway.
it's not the next 10 years.
No, okay, got it.
The second one has to do average teacher salary. And
Oh.
the third one is administrator salaries. And then the last one is the administrator, the top 4 administrator salaries.
And they want it has to be a specific font,
Size.
specific things, so that way everything's not, you can't.
Uniform, yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what we have to do.
And that's where we're gonna post the extra.
We can put a little side sheet, yes,
It can't be on that page, but it can be
No.
right next to it.
yep.
What is our average teacher salary on 56?
When they say test scores, can we put our SAT scores as well?
No,
That's a test.
no, it has to be very specific.
We picked the top 10 test scores.
So,
10 test
again,
scores.
next to that test score.
I cannot put anything on the warrant article. I cannot touch the warrant article.
No, not on the warrant.
That's what's on the warrant article, the test scores.
The other sheet doesn't have it.
But another sheet at in the front of the gym with our test scores. I mean,
So
I've got to put context.
You know how big the sheet, can you go above and beyond that sheet?
No.
I mean, so it has to be
No.
specifically this sheet.
Yes,
They were very clear.
I want to
Very
make it
clear.
20 by 40.
House Bill 1265.
Well, I read it, but I didn't think it was, I thought it was a minimum.
very
I didn't know it was exact.
specific.
Yeah.
12 by,
And they're gonna have people walking probably through polling places checking on it too. I guarantee.
And how do we print it?
Guarantee
The
there'll be people
boys are
checking
gonna
it.
figure out how to print it.
I got a
How
kink.
much is it?
Can we put a big magnifying glass so people can
Oh,
see it? right?
yeah, they're gonna see it.
You're gonna say 60 something?
So let me preface by saying I'm only going through last year
Mhm.
because this year is not over. Right?
REA?
We're comparing district-wide cost per pupil. I don't have that for this year. So this year's not done. So everything I'm basing all of this information on
Mhm.
is based off of fiscal year 25. So the average teacher salary for last year for Raymond was 61,349.
How was that? Our top step's what, 68? That was our average, like, we got a lot of,
Yes.
yeah, oh man, wow.
And then with adjusted CPI, so we did that
Hmm.
for these spreadsheets, it's 63,251.
I have a
The
question.
average,
Just like almost every teacher is on the top step.
I have a question. Does that
Well, I
include
mean, not
longevity
everybody,
and
a
stuff
lot.
like that? 'Cause I would guess we don't include those things and.
So-
Base salary, I think, yeah.
But
And then stipends and stuff. Yeah, let's not complicate things anymore.
No, because it shouldn't just be base salary.
I don't think it does. But
Okay.
I will double check.
In my mind, it should be base salary. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think so, but then again, it might have to be every tax dollar that goes, like the police have their overtime detail and everything in the town
I'd
report. All
also say that I don't take benefits here either, just helping the district out too.
right,
we put that in writing too. No benefits.
Pays for his own lunch.
Gonna go on our supplemental information sheet, Karen.
Just want to be clear.
Here's what they tell you we had to tell you. Here's everything we want you to know.
Yeah, I do not take benefits.
So can we add on a supplemental extra large table size sheet of
Yeah,
paper?
can we make our
the
sheet twice
information
the
that we
size?
already have, plus the extra information? In 36 font?
Yeah.
Yes, and much larger font.
Yeah, that just seems like,
We'll get one of those air wiggly guys.
I believe the kid bid me that one day. So hazardous duty.
right. You don't get hazard pay for that. You didn't even get to go home early.
No, I didn't even take the tennis shot.
You guys didn't get supplemental nighttime pay.
We should put in school board salary too. 'Cause there's a lot of towns around here that get paid a lot more than this.
Salem's like 7,500.
Crazy, come on, dude.
There is something like that.
They got a nice big.
Can you imagine if we put something in the budget, people's heads would explode.
We only got paid because the town decided to get paid a long time ago.
I get $80 a month to be a selectman. Just
Paid
saying.
by month on the town
Yeah,
side?
it's like almost like doing it for nothing.
Jen says average teacher salaries reported each year and is published on the DOE website. That's what we're using. I would think it's probably best to use information straight from the DOE website.
Yes.
That's what Mary Jean and I talked about it. It's straight salaries, not benefits. Moving on.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, Jennifer. We'll just start
Well,
researching it.
Just, does it give clarification? The state average salary is 69,531 in 24-25. That's the latest information I have.
So we're still significantly.
So
And again, ours is because we have a bunch of teachers on the hiring.
I got another stupid dumbass question here. If the state.
This is the last one. This is the last one you get tonight.
If the state only gives us 24-25, are we supposed to give 24-25?
For what, like cost per pupil?
No, 10 years.
No, for the teacher salary.
I say we go back to 2000 unless it says.
Well, that's
this
why I'm
year.
trying to be consistent with what we're providing out there.
So
You know what I
if
mean?
they've only.
So our year's not done yet, so we actually don't know, like,
Well, they is 2 years behind because they have 24-25. They don't even have 25-26 out.
Well, 24, 25 isn't there. We
26
just,
is right now.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
Now it's 25.
They don't have. They have.
24-25.
Yeah, but why would they have
we're
it?
supposed to do this in good faith. So me doing this in good faith is trying to keep every yearly thing consistent.
Mhm.
Using 24, 25 and backing up.
What did you say our teacher salary is average?
61, 62.
61?
After adjustment, 63 something.
And because you used, okay. I was just curious.
61.
So we're about $8,000.
Dude, you used it up.
I got my next stupid question here. So a place like Chester, do they have to post what the average teacher salary is for
Yeah.
high school? they
Yes.
go to?
Everybody.
No,
Oh, whatever
Oh.
schools in it. Well, good question.
no.
What town is that? I
Let's
think
move on.
Hampstead, wait till they walk in and see that sheet. I think the superintendent makes like $190,000.
No, he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh,
They go with $200,000.
Oyster River.
oh, there's a new guy there. I was looking at it before.
Okay.
All right. Enough of that.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I think.
Approval of 11 articles.
all right. So,
Want me to read that?
Yeah.
Click here to see the most current version of the draft warrant pending the addition of the school board vote on the operating budget, the possible addition of the open enrollment warrant article, and any other revisions that may be made this evening.
that's just,
If approved, we will print copies at the SAU and school board members may visit the SAU to sign the original warrant and as tested copies on Thursday afternoon or on Friday.
I'll make a motion that we, approve the warrant as amended this evening.
Second.
That covers us, right?
which would what, add in the new one and
New
all
one
that
and on
stuff. Yeah.
the, recommendation on the operating.
Okay, second by Joe. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous, moving on. You good with that one? Policies? No one read the policies.
Well, excited.
All right.
Policy GCCAD, leave for uniform service members or their spouses. This is a new policy. These recent changes, this is new policy to us, but not for the school association. So what they're doing is added provisions, including changing the title, which doesn't apply to us, relating to employment protections for employees whose military spouses are put on active duty in response to the passage of HB 225. Changes are codified in RSA 110-C:1 dash A. Additional changes were made to the list of military branches now falling within the scope of protections for military members and their spouses, and substantially more information and corrected information relative to protections for uniformed service members under URESSA. Now, I'll make my comment. It's up there. It's out there, so it's got to be made. I thought we were doing away with DEI in protections. Is that not the case
That's
here?
not a federal thing.
Oh, no state level, there's legislation. No, I'm still trying to figure that out. How we're doing that. Interesting.
Would that really be DEI? Because it's for uniform, it's for service members who get activated.
Yeah, like
It's protecting them. What is DEI gonna do? Diversity, equity, and exclusion. Protections for those, for the,
yeah, but that's different than someone getting cold. So there's like maternity. leave,
I see, I see where you're
Yeah,
going.
I don't think it's, I don't think
I
it's
don't
the
know
same
that it's
thing.
the same, but I see where you're saying.
no, I totally agree with the military. We should bend over backwards to assist in whatever we can with them.
Right.
However, those protections then, okay, anyways.
The slope, here's all the grease.
You
It'll
know,
be something.
it's a steep one.
Anybody else?
Agrees
All
with
right,
that.
next up, JF enrollment, this is revision. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. But, rise generally more significantly to include a direction for the superintendent to prepare an annual enrollment capacity report. This is part of that new, legislation that was, done. So,
So do we have to put in big letters what our capacity is at? That'll be next year.
so when do you have to do that?
No,
Sorry, do you have to do it this year?
Do we have to
The
do that?
new capacity report that we have to fulfill there, we have school associations recommending it, so. But it's out there that, we're gonna have to do this, so.
And would that be district?
Well, whatever I have to do, I have to do. I'm reading.
I just didn't know if you knew off the top of your
I
head.
don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I might have known, but I forget now.
I forgot to ask this at the policy meeting, but, does this mean like, when they say capacity, a capacity for actual school? Because the capacity for like the gym is kind of different than for like a regular, I'm going in there and having.
Yeah.
I think it means your capacity to
I
educate
would-
students.
I would hope, for example, the high school, the capacity is we've got our threshold is 25 students, excluding unique circumstances like labs.
Yeah.
So that's what I would think we would be basing our capacity off of, right? We have so many classrooms, but we only have so many teachers.
That's right. And I mean, I don't know what
That's what I'm
state
assuming.
is sitting
but-
there saying that we have to do. I
The
mean,
fire department doesn't have a say in how many.
well, yeah, but
Oh,
they
they
do,
do.
but like
Within the
the capacity of this whole building
is
probably-
750.
is,
And then for,
Core capacity of 750, I think.
but for students daily, that
Yeah,
applies.
we're not staffed for that.
Right.
So I don't know, but I'll have to talk to Will on it, but I'll get it done. No, I just didn't
Yeah, I
know,
don't know when.
which is fine.
I would think the capacity would be how many students we can facilitate.
Yep.
Not the gym holds 400 people and the cafeteria holds 270 people. And each classroom holds 25, yeah.
It does say it's specifically because of the expansion of choice options, so they're trying to keep an eye on the capacity of the building. And I would assume the capacity to include them in classrooms. So if we don't have enough space for them, if we're at capacity for our classrooms, and I know we're not, but if we were, then you could say to somebody, we are at capacity, you can't come here.
Well,
We
that
don't
could-
have any
yeah,
space for you.
That could apply to open enrollment, right?
state really needed to know that. We couldn't just determine that ourselves.
Yeah, well, that's what it says, because of the expansion of choice options. So I'm assuming it's
Yes.
because of the open
So
enrollment.
they want an inventory of how much room is at every school for any
Yeah.
kid probably.
Oh, no, Raymond can take you. They could take.
Oh, yeah, they got room for
No, no, no.
400 more kids at the high school. Right. Okay. Not on crazy people, so. Get the report. Can't wait to see that one. AI, right? Just
Well,
prompt it.
I'm sure that'll help my grammar.
Next. Second reading on it.
I'll make a motion to accept school board policy IC school year.
Second.
By John, discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Make a motion, we accept policy IHCD, advanced coursework, advanced placement courses, and STEM dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment programs.
Second.
All right, second by John, discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Make a motion, we accept policy JCA, change of class or school assignment, best interest, and manifest action.
Second.
Second by John, discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept policy JICK, student safety and violence prevention.
Second.
Discussion, it's a lengthy one. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to accept policy JLCJA, emergency plan for sports related injuries and additional protocols for athletic participation.
Second.
All right, second by John, discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Is that the policy? Thank you. And we are at nutrition service update.
All right, click here to see the nutrition service update. This is for information, not a full presentation at the meeting. As you review this updates, please let me know if you have any questions and we will aim to answer those for you when we meet. So questions at a time, but I can still get your questions in Friday memo.
In the future, on the nutrition, can we get, for example, on slide 4 and 5 per capita information?
Yep.
And then on slide 6, Terry, a little different when you're ready.
Yep.
It reads, it's talking about a la carte. And it says at the Lamprey River declined slightly after ice cream was removed to address behavioral and account issues. We're taking food items off of the menu because of behavior issues. Is that true?
Must be. We will address that.
I mean, ice cream's kind of a privilege and all, that's extra, that's not,
Yeah, it's not required.
yeah, it's not part of the meal that they would be getting.
Yeah.
So it's a little
So
kind
we're
of a,
gonna punish Johnny, who's
With his goal.
and then Susie, who's misbehaving, we're gonna punish because her behavior.
You know, like you have some
Doing
info on
that?
this.
I do a little bit because I remember
it will
like,
be
the
done in the Foot Locker.
happening. I believe it's more about elementary school age students
This is
So-
paying elementary.
that, I know, I'm trying to get there. John. That they have, so like if you have two kids that are in the second grade, one of them wants ice cream, the other one doesn't have money to get ice cream. So like there's like that part of it, some of them don't understand why they can't. I believe some of them will have past due balances, but will bring cash in just to get the ice cream, but will rack up the debt otherwise. And it's not like we can say, oh, no, you owe us $500. We need that dollar to pay off your debt.
Mm. You can't not give them ice cream at the same time, right?
Right. And I think that's what was happening. I think like a lot of kids were coming up and then they're kind of like, well, my best friend Susie got ice cream. Why can't I get ice cream? And so I think it's a hard, like, I think down there it was just harder and it was creating because of that somewhat behavioral issues. But I also don't know if maybe, I almost think that maybe bad behaviors were maybe being rewarded with ice cream. So I think there was a lot moving on.
I'll get some more info on that, sir.
Yeah.
On the Friday memo. and-
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So like,
It's like a shooting thing, yeah.
in 3 years I've been here, now all of a sudden this is an issue. Why is this an issue now?
I don't know if it's an issue. I think it's, they're trying to combat the
Well,
behavior
we'll
issues.
find
and
out.
they're
I'll find
probably
We'll
are
find
trying to
out.
do
Let
it.
us know.
Joe?
Two things. When's Donald Trump gonna make ice cream with dairy products?
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Get a whole milk bag.
That would be
Whole milk
Kennedy
bag.
to do that now.
God, well, shut up.
and a la carte has dramatically decreased.
Yeah, at the elementary?
Well, overall, we'll say. I'm not too sure what kids have moved or, got the exact numbers here. But it's definitely gone down overall.
It looks like it increased at the middle school.
Yeah, but the
Yes,
significant decrease at the high school.
Oh, that's why.
Not selling something that was really liked last year, less pizza sitting there. I
don't either. It's very simple to me. I know if you put a cheeseburger and fries in front of me every day, I'd walk in with $5 and eat it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of outside influences in the past year where prices for everybody have gone up. So I'm sure that's part of it, where people may not have as much money to give their kids to go to a la carte and buy food. So they're not buying as much stuff off the a la carte menu because they
Yeah,
can't.
when did we increase the lunch prices? Because that could have affected
Beginning of the year?
the extra
Yeah,
a la
we
carte
did it.
money, right?
Yeah, so.
I don't think you guys
Maybe not.
have much, I'm asking, I don't think you guys have much say on a la carte, do you?
No.
I think they set
A la carte,
that,
nothing.
no, yeah. No,
I think that's probably market, right?
Yeah,
Market driven.
yeah.
Yeah, we try to get people to buy the complete meal because that's when we get our free and reduced money back.
Or just only sell them.
Don't get me started on this tone. I'm
Not, no substitutions, no.
no, don't
Breaking
do
up.
that. It's me.
I love it when Tony goes down there.
Even at the high school, the regular meals have decreased quite a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody's not liking some food going on.
All right, well. There's that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Figuring that one out.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Great job.
You're welcome.
Wait, I should thank you. Sorry. Give the positive notes. On the positive notes, the negative balance is down this year.
Yeah, I did see that. That was interesting. But
Take that.
I don't know if it's apples to apples because some of it is because the donation reduced it.
Oh, that's true too.
Did we
We haven't
have any donations in the years that were mentioned? And I didn't get into that, but now that we broached it. Joe did it, Terry, not me. No, I'm all set. Yeah. I'm glad it's lower than it has been in the past. Anyways.
Well, it's because the word's big cat's gonna take you to court. You don't pay that money.
Right, support work to do tomorrow, don't we, Marjorie?
Date. Bring the coffee.
Yeah.
All right. Superintendent evaluation time.
All right, this agenda item is scheduled to allow the school board to determine meeting dates relative to the superintendent's evaluation. For your reference, see the applicable school board policy below.
Dig for that one. Form. Policy do I?
I don't remember when we did it last year.
It was around this time.
Was it vacation time or is it before that? I don't remember. I can look it up.
Says we will independently evaluate in February.
We did it the 12th last year,
In February?
I believe.
Okay.
Coincidentally, candidates.
Oh, that's right, because we got a lot of guff for not being there.
Oh, God, yeah.
We had to tell everybody we were busy and
I mean,
Let's try not to do candidates.
what?
It has been determined.
I saw Christina today too, and she told me when it was. Was it 12th?
I think I've got it.
It was a Tuesday, I think.
17th February.
Okay, good.
I've got it. That's what I've got. It's announced at a budget committee.
Sorry, that's the candidates night.
The 17th, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Tuesday, this 27th.
Right, let's get done. So, any recommendation on the dates from anyone? Any dates you can't do?
11th or the 25th. That's fine, but because just Wednesday, I'm just trying to keep it a Wednesday. If not, we can change it from a Wednesday, but
Oh, and then I gotta get all the things and compile the scores, right, for, it's my job this year. All right. I can chase myself around saying, would you damn survey, you do it yet? So like, I
Can you
got-
film that conversation?
That sounds like a meeting for the, conference. Yes.
Right. I'll have to-
Invite yourself. What we
We have to have a discussion.
talking about the table warrant articles. We're like, oh, the one at the Long Branch County. Yeah, I'm on that one.
Well, he's closed, so we can't do it there. Going on vacation there this week
Yeah, well, we got a couple, next week too?
till the 5th.
Oh,
I
oh,
think that's what happened last time too.
We might have to update that meeting.
yep, we're on it. What's that?
Well,
Long Branch is closed.
I messaged Jennifer when I learned that, but the email that she sent me to confirm had the SAU listed as a location, so
Oh,
she might already be on top of
Yep.
it.
okay,
I might have called to schedule it and he said, no, we're not gonna be here, and then she.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, but when I went to correct myself, she already was on it.
do we,
Your BYOB day, but you know, back
yeah, we want to be early in the month or late in the month?
good with the 11th.
Let me, it should be fine with me. Let me double
Let's
check.
come in.
I'm fine with whatever.
What time do you want to do it? 6, does that work for you,
Yeah, Wednesday, 11th is fine.
sign it, Tony?
Yeah, 6 is good.
All right,
And that's a non-meeting.
no, it's a non-public.
You want them in by the 6th.
Hold on, let me write my notes here. What's the day again? The 11th. 11th at 6. So we're gonna do that. Where we're gonna do that one?
Jen will tell us.
Like we
Usually
do it
it's in the
here
middle
because we can sit in the black chairs.
We've done it in the middle school.
Looking a little raggedy these days.
Well, they're still more comfortable in these things.
Yeah.
That's what I said on Mondays. Pull one of those over. All right, so that's
Sorry, we said 6, right?
TBD location.
Do you want the evaluations in by the 6th?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that the Friday, Joe? Is that what that is?
Friday before, yeah.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, it could be the weekend to go. And Jennifer gonna email the digital version to these and then. Okay. Very good. Okay, that time. Appointment of school board representative to the Board of Selectmen for,
Agenda items been scheduled for the school board to name a school board representative for the upcoming meetings. The Board of Selectmen.
So what is this for? This is the first time I'm hearing this one.
You were
It's
at the meeting we had.
public discussion. for-
Oh, that, okay. Thank you. That's all I need.
It's gonna be Publix for the land. I said I'd do it. I don't know if anybody else wants.
I think I am,
No,
yeah,
Yep.
I don't think you can, yes. No, it's fine.
What day is it supposed to be?
we don't know yet.
Then I'll skip because I gotta be there.
yeah, I forgot to talk to Ken this morning. He had a day, but I forgot. All right, so that will be John. No objections? All right, then we'll see you there, John.
The bell's on.
All right. Media reports. Anything, John?
Building committee met. We had the architect come in and go over updates to the design, more definition to the building. And we won't be meeting, the plan is not to meet again until February. On the budcom, as we all know, but I thought I'd bring it up, the operating budget for the school was reduced. And then all other articles were recommended. That's it for me.
Just got to note that the cable committee is not going to meet.
The budcom meeting was a lot nicer than I was expecting it to be. But smooth, I guess.
I tried to behave.
Oh, you were great. All right. Joe, anything?
No, actually, when's the next SST? Because I think I'm the second person.
I think it's March.
Well, maybe I won't be the second person.
Probably in January. Yeah, March. March 16th.
When's the election? Yeah, you would still be the rep by then.
11th, I think you said.
10th.
See you there.
Take that day off.
Joe,
That'd be sick
Joe,
like that.
you can, I got it.
All right, superintendent report.
PD day was last Friday. Sam and the behavior team did a nice job bringing in several presentations. One is including Lynn Lyons. Fantastic, pre-K to 8 had responsive classroom training for about half the day. We also set it up so that many of our new staff at the elementary, many of our paras who are working in some of our tougher programs were trained in CPI and also in CPI holds and restraints. I popped in on that. It actually was going very well. The high school focused on the work study habits and tying them to reports as a graduate. They provided me with a draft. It looks very good. So then we met today too, talking about, it's funny how the next one coming up in March, doing the vertical alignment. I met with Jeremy about the Adidas banners. They are what they are. It's got to be 50-50. And I was just talking, I mean,
For how long?
well, more than a year, but I just wanted people to know when they talked about the Dasani thing, the Dasani banners on the scoreboards are a third of the size of the scoreboard. They're huge.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were that big either. But when you get that scoreboards here and then the Dasani sign, sponsoring it, it's big too. I thought it was tiny too, but Jeremy and I looked at it, oh, that's pretty good size. I guess I don't recognize it because I just look at the scoreboard. But I went down and looked at it. So it is what it is.
Scoreboard. Going
Both
here.
of them in the high school at the gym. Well, it is what it is.
Hey, free stuff.
Well, we said no, so it's not free, so.
Okay then.
Well, we said,
We have to put that back on the agenda, 'cause I think we said to wait, right?
well, yeah,
Go back and.
all right, so I'm just letting you know, so.
We had said, let's
Bring it back.
More information and then
Yeah.
I'll refrain from.
So they weren't willing to change it at all.
No.
It would at least put the ram on top.
Nope.
I'm gonna guess it's probably something they pre-make for a whole bunch.
I'm sure they do, and it just,
stick
yeah,
a,
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And they'd have to redo the artwork and everything on it, and that's where the money's at.
Copy and paste.
Can I send them an image?
We're done.
Scale. Like, done. Yeah, no, it's not that hard.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Manifest signing. Oh, correspondence other. Anyone?
We did get some correspondence from state senator about going to the meeting tomorrow.
Hmm.
I know they were still looking for somebody as of today. I said I would go down. Which we did discuss. It's kind of the thing we kind of discussed over here. I do have some reservations about what they're looking at because it's very big. There's not much to this thing. Because things tend to, when they come from the state, end up costing us money, even though they kind of say it's not going to. Well, more money. And the way I'm reading it, it's going to cost us more money at this particular point because, yeah,
I was gonna go, but the reality is I get paid with tax dollars. So I wouldn't want to go up and lobby and potentially be using tax dollars to do so. I know how much they hate that. So I'm not gonna put them in a position where
I'm taking time off, so I ain't getting paid for tax dollars tomorrow.
they're very much against lobbying with tax dollars, and I don't know how to determine what tax dollars are. I couldn't go through that process, so unfortunately I won't be able to make it. Sorry, Senator Murphy.
Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Yeah. Can't come. I do. I actually forgot we got the email earlier today. Well, I guess we got it the other day and then Jen reminded us today.
I was all about it until attack on NHMA and School Board Association. My tax dollars are, I get paid with tax dollars. I can't help it. Moving on. Approval of minutes. Oh, manifest signing.
Payables tonight, $204,380.14. Payroll, $508,682.86 for a grand total of $713,063 even. I like it when it comes out that way. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion. Oh, sorry. You want to go? I'll make a motion to accept the minutes, the public minutes for January 7th, 2026.
Second.
All right, so drawn discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Make a
There
motion.
is one before you go. The non-public,
I think if
did you
we
look
did-
at them?
I think if we did 3 months out and unseal them, I think that would be fine. What do you think, John?
Well, sorry, I had them up, now I can't. I'm gonna blame my dog. Cause I can't, well anyways, let me pull it up, sorry, I had it pulled up and now I don't. What happened to it? No, I've got it.
You got it, okay.
Thank you. I think 3 months is, I would say June 1st,
Okay,
release it June 1st. B, I don't know when that will end, that conversation.
okay,
So I would
Yeah.
leave it a year from now. How about that?
okay. The other one I think is,
I don't know what we can do there. I'm looking for your
I
recommendation.
think we need to keep that one sealed for a while.
Okay. You want me to do the motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes and keep item A sealed until June 1st. Item B. And C. Sealed. I think that's the easiest way.
Second.
By Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of January 8th, 2026.
This is quorum notices, right?
Second, yep.
There's quorum notices for budget committee meetings.
Yep.
All right, second by John, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to accept the minutes for January 13th, 2026.
Second.
Second by John, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
I'll make a motion to go into our non-public under RSA 91A, colon 3, Roman numeral 2, D as in dog and M as in Mary.
And how much is that? Minutes and it's Steve. Steve. Second by Steve. Discussion. Steve,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
myself, yes, Joe.
Yes.
Right, thank you very much.